Hello and welcome to Magical Travel Adventure. I am Lauren, your host, and today I'm going to talk to you about why I use Club Level for certain trips. So, if you don't know me, I am Lauren. I'm a travel agent. My information is below, and I'm here to help you plan your Disney, Universal, and cruise vacations. Now, with that, and I talk about staying club level and how much it helps me out sometimes. No, I don't stay club level all the time. That is just not where I am right now. But there are certain times that I think that club level really does help you in a trip and can make your life a lot easier. Now, when I'm talking about club level, I am focusing on Disney and Universal, but it also might be helpful if you are on a cruise to stay club level. So I'll start with talking with Disney and Universal first, and then I'll talk a little about cruising. With Disney and Universal, staying club level means that you are typically in a premier resort at Universal or a deluxe resort at Disney World, except for Coronado Springs, which is a moderate resort that does have a club level. Now, you're already staying in an elevated experience. So, you're already getting the nicer rooms and things like that. So, why do you need club level? My husband and I recently stayed club level in our last trip to Universal, and even he enjoyed it. And it's just an easier place to be, and it's just where you don't have to think as much about what might be there and what's offered and things like that. So, how it works is when you book a room, you can book like a standard room or you can book a club level room. The club level room will give you access to the club level lounge, which typically offers drinks, food throughout the day, and it's at no charge to you. Like, the point of the club lounge is that you could come in and go whenever you need to and grab anything and take it with you. So you could definitely take things with you or you can eat it there. It's kind of like whatever's easiest for you. Now, typically what happens is you need your key card or something that's going to let you into the door for the club lounge. And they do have hours that they operate, and they're all kind of different. So I can't tell you exactly it, but the club lounges all offer a breakfast, lunch, snackish, and dinnerish option. Um, and there is typically alcohol available. If you are of age, you might need to bring your ID just so you know. Um, and there's always like water, soda, coffee, tea. Those were all available. I was kind of actually shocked at Universal because we stayed at Portofino Bay and their club lounge is like humongous. It was, I think it's 6 different rooms that you can sit in, and they had coffee, a coffee maker for all of them, a tea place that you could get tea, and they had water and soda available, and there was all this different food. I will say that at Universal, the lunch options seem to be more minimal, but at Disney World, they seem to be a little like these are things that you can actually make meals out of. Now, they're not all the same. They don't all have the same offerings, and COVID is still around. So it is still sometimes limited. They're wrapped up items as opposed to buffet-ish items. But there are typically hot options at breakfast and dinner, and sometimes in the lunchtime. Now, why would you ever want this? You think like, oh, I'm in the parks all the time. Well, first of all, this is for either when you're on a short trip, this could be a great option for you because then you're not paying for as many days, but then you can really utilize it in the morning before you go to the parks. And, you don't have to order groceries like I talked about in one of my other videos, but you have that stuff and you could grab waters, bring them to the parks. You're all set. Bring a few sodas with you. You're all set. Grab that breakfast. You could just bring it on the go, or you can sit and eat it there. That might be a nice option. And then maybe you are at the parks, but you come back for a midday rest. Well, go into the club lounge. You could probably grab a snack that you can bring back to your hotel room. If you have kids and your kids are sleeping, one of you could go to the club lounge for a little bit or bring back some food so you can all eat it in the room. Like, these are all wonderful options. And then before you go back to the parks, hop in again, grab some dinner items, and then use that and then go back to the parks. There are so many different ways to use this, but it's so wonderful to have that option that you could just go to a room and there is food available to you. Now, I did find at Portofino Bay this last time, I haven't done all of the resorts at deluxe level since they've opened up since COVID, but Portofino had certain times that they had food available. So it was not like nonstop food all the time, every time you came in there. There were very few selections that you could get at certain times. So do be aware of that they might have hours and times, but that you can always take food back to your room and keep it there and always eat it later. Like, I would take cookies and then eat them later. So don't think like you can't take things with you. No one cares. Take your stuff, get whatever you want out of there and use it. That's another thing that I think people are like afraid to use it. They're like, oh, let's sneak this water out. Like, no, they're telling you, like, fill up your bag with waters and take it. Like, the whole point of being in the club level is to get that stuff and bring it with you. So don't be afraid to take things with you. Don't be afraid if you send like yourself or, your partner down to get stuff or your kids to get stuff or that you have to come back in 3 or 4 times to get stuff. Like, who cares? You're just there. You paid for it. This is for you. So get it. I also think if you are 2 working parents and you just need a break and you don't want to have to worry, like, the kids are going to be hungry and I don't want to have snacks or always be worried about food or have to run down somewhere to get food. Like, this way, it's like saving you some time. So it feels like vacation to you, that someone is just providing food to you. And it's food that your kids are going to like. It's going to be food that other people are going to like. So there's going to be options there. And there are healthy options. There's always like fruits and vegetables offered there. At dinner time, there's typically like very basic wine and beer options or maybe just wine options. So those are all things that you can have while you're there. And I will say, so on your check-in day, as soon as you check in, you are available to go into that club lounge. So if you get there at 6 a.m. and your room's not ready yet, you are still able to access that club lounge. Same thing with checkout day. If you are checking out and you're not checking out, like your plane isn't leaving until 9, 10 o'clock at night, but you had to be out of your room by 11, that's fine. You could still go into the club lounge all the way until you leave for your flight. So you really can get a lot out of it. I think it's a great way to do it. And especially at Disney World, the Coronado, the club lounge there, that is a great option. You're staying at a moderate resort with moderate pricing and you have access to that club lounge. And it just kind of feels fun to have that like exclusive access that not everyone has. And it just makes you feel a little lighter, like, oh, I don't have to worry, like I didn't bring my water, or, oh, I just want to like grab something quick to eat and that's it. Great, go grab a snack in the club lounge and then go back to your room for a nap. Or, you're coming in from the pool, grab something from the club lounge, bring it back to your room. And then while everyone's showering and changing and getting ready, you can all be snacking on something. So it would be great if everyone could do it for every trip. So do it if you can. But if not, it's make sure that you do it for the trips that really matter. Like when you really want that vacation, or if you're doing a short trip and you can spend that little extra more, it does make all the difference in the world. It feels like a vacation. Take it from another mom who's always cooking and stuff like that. It's so nice to just be like, let's go, pick out what you want here, and then we can go back to the room and you can eat it, or we could sit here and eat it. And we saved a lot of money on food because we really didn't eat anything when we were at the parks, maybe like a little bit, but we weren't starving at the parks or anything like that. So it definitely made life a lot easier when thinking about what it is that we were going to make, when we were going to eat and things like that. It was just so much easier. I will say though, for desserts, don't expect anything like fantastic, but there might be some good stuff. So definitely check it out. There's tons and tons of videos online about all the different club lounges, but just know they're still opening up and they're still kind of following some sort of COVID policy at this point. So it might not be back to your 2019 standards. All right, that will do it for today's show. If you like these videos, if you could like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification bell, that would be great. And I will see you next time on Learn Magical Travel Adventure. Bye.